Nigeria's National Council on Privatization, NCP, says it is necessary to inform the public about measures taken by the federal government concerning the board of various discos across the country. The Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Mr. Alex Oko, said this in a statement in Abuja. It was reported that on July the 5th, the Bureau of Public Enterprise and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission informed the public of the restructuring of the boards of the Kano, Benin, and Kaduna electricity distribution companies. This was done following the collateralized shares of the discos by lenders, which included Afrexim Bank, Keystone Bank, Stanbic IBTC, and Fidelity Bank. Joining us to discuss further is Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, good to see you. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Lots to discuss.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
Indeed.
Okay, let me start with the
discos?
The discos, the bank action on the discos.
Yes, please, please.
And just to, further add to the body of knowledge of our viewers.
Yes.
Banks in their lending programs don't take commercial risk. Now let me explain it a little.
Okay.
So if you see an opportunity now along this route where Dangote refinery is building, Dangote is building the refinery.
Yes.
And as a product or something that will sell, and then you go and do your calculations, and then you find out you're going to make maybe 1 million naira profit, or let's say 10 million naira profit, and that's, you approach a bank to go and borrow money.
Okay.
And the bank calculates the interest and loan, interest and principal to be, let's say, 5 million naira.
Okay.
Okay. And then you go and borrow the money and do the work. Remember, your initial profit is 10 million.
Yeah.
Propose. Now, if your profit comes to 1 billion, you still pay the bank only 5 million.
Correct, yes.
So the bank is only interested in their principal plus what?
Interest. Yep.
Now, if you make a loss,
it's the same thing.
you must pay the bank the principal plus the interest, which is 5 million.
Yes.
Now, let me throw down to the discourse, and I'm talking generally.
Okay.
Because some of these issues are being litigated.
Right.
So just to add to the better knowledge of our viewers.
Yeah.
When the privatization programs took place in 2014 or 15 or thereabout, these discos were being sold by BPE, the Bureau of Public Enterprises, to the larger populace. Core investors were invited to bid for them, and basically based on two criteria. The criteria were basically the capital plus competence, and after some actions, these discos were sold.
Yeah.
The government sold only 60% of their holding. So the core investors only took 60%. Government was still a major owner of 40%. 40%, these discos. And the discos were supposed to, therefore, the core investors were supposed to go out there, and then what they're supposed to do now is they have put out there, they have the competence, they put out there, they have the capital to run these discos.
Okay.
They're supposed to now go and run these discos profitably. Okay?
Yeah.
Put the management in place and everything. And what to get them the power to do this is because they are the major shareholder in the discos through their co-investment vehicle. And so they're going to run discos profitably. And ordinarily, the profit from this run discos, we're supposed to go and pay back the loan and return dividend to the common citizen, to the Commonwealth. Remember, the government owns 40%. So ab initio, the boards of these discos, considered, those from the core investors and representation of the government who still own the 40%. Now, but you and me know what has happened over this period. With the issues that have confronted or that have pervaded the electricity value chain. And now, why I started by talking about the fact that banks don't take commercial risk is the fact that no matter the scenario that the core investors meet on the ground, when they took over these discos, it's not the business of the banks.
They just want their money.
They're going to pay their money based on the agreed repayment terms.
In the contracts.
Now, at different fora, I've had opportunity to criticize the banks. The processes they went in giving out these acquisition loans because they were not thorough. Right. Most of them, a lot of banks didn't have the competence, knowledge, or the empower lending. So most of them just lend on the basis of personalities and assets, But most of the lending also incorporated a backup collateral and the collateral of as shares of these co-investors in these acquired companies. And so they also usually terms and conditions that will happen if you don't meet up the repayment terms. These lenders will take over the assets. Now, I must tell you something, based on what I know that's out there.
Yeah.
Over this period, the last 10 years or so, these acquisitions have been made. Little or no service repayments have been made to this, or made on these loans.
Gosh.
Now, if it were ordinary acquisitions like paper mills and all the steel mills and whatever, the banks would have taken over the assets, of the co-investors. But the issue was that these were like power. Power is very sensitive. So Central Bank of Nigeria, the Federal Bank of Nigeria has come in and CBN get forbearances, so the banks don't have to provide, because a loan that has given for some time that no repayments are coming in, the banks must provide for it as bad loans. So recognizing the challenges in the country, Central Bank said, okay, we'll allow you guys not to provide really for these loans as bad loans.
We'll step in.
They provided liquidity and so on and so on, but nothing has happened.
Yeah.
And somebody tells me as CBN, the forbearance period is expiring, the banks are seeing that CBN might do something, not roll over the forbearance, especially with what's happening.
Yep.
They may have to just go and protect their investment.
Exactly.
And I have a feeling that that's what is happening. Why do they have the power? Remember the
contract.
The core investors offer the shares in those discos are part of the collateral. The banks take it over. Who owns the shares owns the company.
Right.
So they can step into the company now, change the board, transform management, bring in the 2 C's required, which is basically capital and competence. Maybe bringing core investors additional investors or competence to come and run the companies and turn them to profitability and achieve the original objective set out in the privatization program. This is the roadmap.
Chika, aviation, agri, cement, sugar, you do it all.
And I hope that it works out because but I mean, does this solve the problem in the power problem?
Not yet, no, it doesn't solve it.
Remember who said the Gencos, the gas companies, the transmission company, the
whole value chain.
The whole value chain, everybody has a problem.
Yeah.
The transmission company, okay, you decide that as a nation that is very strategic to hold it you won't sell it. But why not? Nigeria has very competent individuals. Why not put in some competent people that run in there, like Ethiopian Airlines? So that we have the better transmission program. Not that. Why is it that anything that's government owned?
You must have.
You must have collect that the quality of service delivery is poor. So that's basically the issue there. So it doesn't solve the problem, but it starts the journey towards this. Remember, the government has a stake.
Indeed.
40%.
So that's why the BPE is involved. Chika, very quick. I mean, oil theft. You've already talked about this. So can you quickly just give us some?
Remember what we said the other day. One of the lines I gave the other day was that when the operators in the industry, the IOEs, are seeing the government people who have appointed and elected crying more than the IOCs. The IOCs are supposed to look at the government plus for help. Now, Mr. Kabeze, the Director of Budget Office, he had him say it. Now, when we heard these people say, the Chevron people say that this is organized racket, organized stealing, you would think that this is crying, the bereaved crying. Yeah. But look at the government side now saying it. So the question, therefore, is why are the government people they know it's organized?
Why they not
so these people are more powerful than the state.
Right.
Nobody has answered. You see, when I did this the other day, people were asking me after, Chika, I didn't finish answering the question. Why are these people more powerful than the state? I said I don't have the answer.
Exactly.
They should tell us.
They should tell us.
If Mr. Kabeze is talking like this, and it's part of the state,
then there's
a problem.
All right, Business Analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, it's always a pleasure having you. Thank you for breaking things down for us. We appreciate your time.